Hello everybody, it's Chad from Colorado Giants here for your weekly update. I'm out here practicing tossing the baseball at my mock catcher down there because today I'm throwing out the first pitch at a Colorado Rockies game, and I'm pretty positive I'm not gonna do like great, but I want to do good. So I'm practicing and I'll do one pitch one-handed. Hopefully it doesn't be, or it's not terrible, which that was terrible. However, that was catchable. And yeah, so just doing a little practicing so I don't make a complete fool out of myself just a little bit. So this past week I've been just really busy, and if I'm being honest, I kind of ignored the pumpkins this week, which is unfortunate because the plants have kind of hit that mid-season stride where if you haven't really grown giants before, you wouldn't know that like they'll kind of stop growing a little bit. They won't be extremely vigorous, and then they kind of have a resurgence at some point during the year, and then the plants start to grow again along with the pumpkins. So that happened this week, and the plants have kind of gone a little bit nutso. But let's start with the gourds. We'll check them out. Sunflowers are just about done. I didn't even measure them because it's nothing that I'm going to win with in the local competition. We do have some long gourds growing though, so I'm kind of excited about that. You can see that long gourd right there is growing. That's probably 2 foot long, and then we got another one up here growing. So yeah, the long gourds are starting to do their thing. We'll let them continue to do that, and hopefully we'll get some pretty big long gourds this year. I did see some bushel gourds. Yeah, there's some bushel gourds growing right there. Looks like those pollinations took, so that's exciting because I haven't had bushel gourds. I haven't had any bushel gourds. You know what? I've never even grown bushel gourds, so I'm excited to finally have some bushel gourds. I am running my irrigation right now. I know I have a few breaks in the line, so I might kind of cut this video short, go take care of those, and then come back if I can figure out where it is. I'm getting leaked on right there. It's fine. Yeah, so here's the plants. And we'll kind of do a before and an after. What is dripping on me? Why? Anywho, so yeah, as you can see, you know, from right here, the vines are going out of the pumpkin patch, and everything pretty much at this point is 100% filled in, and then some. We'll go check out the other side. I'm kind of hearing some leaking. We're still having those mouse problems. Let's go check out the other side real fast. Yeah, but the mice are really being a pain in the butt this year. So I'm kind of relying more on the overhead irrigation than my drip tape, which is unfortunate because I fertilized through the drip tape, and it's really hard to do irrigation with the setup as I have it right now, overhead. So you can see the vines are poking out the side. This bushel gourd is going just insane, which is awesome because that's really cool. Wasp on that one. So yeah, you can see bushel gourd plant is going nutso here. This is all bushel gourd, and that you can see over there the tips of the bushel gourd plants as they're rising up. They're shoot, this bushel gourd plant is about the size of one of the pumpkin plants, and then this plant has totally taken over. And I am so befuddled, we'll call it, at this plant right here, the 1211, and even the 1911 for that matter. Just both of these plants, if you watch the videos, they were so burny or so easy to be burned, just so prone to burn earlier in the season. And here later in the season, when it's actually hotter, they're much less. There's much less burning going on, and in fact, basically no burning going on, which is really strange to me. You know, I suppose that the plant is a little more established. It can take it, is what I'm going to assume. But yeah, it's really strange to me that that it's doing so well now, late in the season. Um, but good problems to have. I'm not going to complain about it. So I'm going to do some trimming. We'll come back. I'll measure the pumpkins. We'll do an update. Finish the update because I got to get ready for to go to the baseball park here in a few hours. And just look at that beautiful pumpkin. Spoiler alert: that one stopped growing. I mean, I think it's not been growing for a few weeks, which is a shame because that is an awesome looking pumpkin. I really would like to grow that one again next year. So we're going to stop here. We can do a little weed whacking and clear off some of this this undergrowth here so I can navigate through the patch a little bit. All right, I'm making my way through, kind of trimming up. I'm on the side. Here's the 1911 plant from basically here over. That's the entire 1911. And then this is the backup plant, the other 1984 Baron. This one, I would say this is probably 150 pounds or so. Still a really nice, super beautiful orange pumpkin. But yeah, this is the two plants that are kind of one Franken plant. An interesting fun fact: Don said that his 1984 was a bumpy, kind of ugly yellow pumpkin. So I lucked out, and when I got not one 1984 that was orange, but two. So I'll finish up doing what I was going to do, but I'm probably not going to get back into this section of the plant. So just wanted to film it since I was right here. Okay, so we're at the 1984 Baron plant. Probably, again, keep on saying it, beating a dead horse here, but this is by far my favorite plant, despite the fact that it, the pumpkin has stopped growing. But just the plant itself, it still looks great. It's getting that second stage growth that's kind of filling in over there. There's a little pumpkin growing over there. Unfortunately, as I get over here, I see some really yellow discolored leaves, which may mean that this plant might have yellow vine disease. I'm looking at this plant right here, or the leaf rather, this section right now, which that's never a good thing. That could explain why the pumpkin stopped growing. I did see some squash bugs, but I've been pretty on top of spraying my my pesticide program. So even though I am in a giant screen house to keep the bugs out, they inevitably one or two always kind of squeak their way in. So it's something that you have to deal with, irregardless of your situation. I'm not even going to measure this guy. He's probably about 120 pounds or so. I think that's what I measured him at last, and then he stopped growing. But hopefully the pumpkin stays good. Kind of feeling around on it. I don't see or feel any soft or rotten spots, knock on wood. Definitely have a mouse situation. I do have still, as we knew, put out the mouse traps. One kind of stepped on this board. There's a little hole underneath my board, so he went running off into the bushel gourd. So hopefully the traps will take care of him. I did get those ultrasonic squeakifiers. I don't really know if they're doing a whole lot at this point or not, but it's better to try than not to. Because the lions are all, at this point, they're kind of, not going to say they're totally shot, but it's not an ideal irrigation situation. I think I mentioned next year, I think I'm just going to do the wobblers. Wobblers cool the plant down. Overhead watering gets just everything off the ground. I don't have to worry about it. Might try that next year. And you can see that that because I've kind of let the plant go a little bit, you can see the bushel gourds just taking over. It's halfway down to the pumpkin plant. So if I were to measure that out, so halfway is here, so it's at least 22, 23, 20, probably 24 foot wide, the bushel gourd. So that's really impressive. I didn't think that these plants got that big. I knew they had like a bit of a growth spurt, but this thing is like really taken off like a pumpkin plant. So listen, learn to me to not kind of let your bushel gourd go, because it will get away from you, and it'll get away from you in a hurry. I think I finally have some bushel gourds going. So you can see one there I think took. We got one rocking and rolling right there on my warning track. And, you know, that one was a no-go, no-go, no-go. So all these no-goes, but here is one that is probably about the size of a baseball. So I think that one has some potential, and thankfully that these did take, because I was running out of room. So I went through and I chopped all the bushel gourd plant and some of the pumpkin vines that had started just kind of creeping their way up the wall here. And then because again of my negligence on this plant over here, mistake on my part, you know, it's kind of coming over and saying what's up to the bushel gourd plant, and they're getting to know each other pretty well. You can see all the plant that I just chopped off out here. So lots of trimming was just done. The other plant, I don't know if you could see it, is still back there. So I'm going to measure this one. I'll measure that one. What the heck? I'll measure that one too, just in case. And yeah, so I've trimmed all the way around, sort of. I'm not even gonna try over there. I'll show you when we get over there. That's impossible. So let me measure and we'll come back. All right, I haven't measured this one yet, but I figured you guys would get a kick out of it. I think I do got a pumpkin going there on this one, which is good, because I would love to get, you know, just several, you know, 200 pounders or something, just to have them. Why not? So yeah, you can see that just how badly overgrown this is. Like you can see some bad pumpkins in there that I should definitely get rid of. So, but I probably won't, if I'm being honest. This is a jungle. Welcome to the jungle. I'm trying to not step on the main vine. It's inevitable. I am stepping on a lot of other vines and whatnot over here, because it is a jungle. So like, look down there, you can see just the cross tangle and mismatch and whatnot. But this one, it is staying. It's growing. Look at that mess. Ugh. It is going. It's still growing. Trying to keep the leaves off of it somewhat, but at the same time, the leaves, these giant leaves that are surrounding it are also shading it. So I'm not overly concerned about picking them off in a way. This has got a really weird shape. Like the butt is kind of hanging over there, and this looked like it wanted to be a wheel, like we talked about earlier in the year. It looked like it could go wheel, but now it's, I don't know. It's kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of ugly. So finally made it over here. I'll measure this one when that's that one that I showed you a second ago. So fairly close to one another, two different plants. I thought I would see kind of maybe another pumpkin or something growing amongst this overgrowth, but alas, I do not. Just these two. Hopefully we'll get lucky and get another one over there or something. So, all right, this time I'm gonna measure. All right, and we're at the 1911. This one, if I had to guess, probably somewhere around 500 pounds or so. Just kind of has that look. I did measure it. I changed my mind. I'm gonna go inside and do the measuring, and we'll just do the video from the computer where I have all that stuff. You can see that other 1984 pumpkin, and then if you're real eagle-eyed, you can see that 1211 alt back there too. I am excited about these two pumpkins though, because these are reverse crosses from one another. You know, so this pumpkin at, you know, we'll assume it's 500 pounds, probably 40-ish days old or so, maybe a little bit older, but with a plant that really was not, you know, a little heat susceptible, but in the later rounds is doing great. You know, maybe this plant crossed with that plant, we can inject some of the heat resistant smaller leaves, you know, lower to the ground type of plant with that one, or, you know, put some of this genetic into that plant over there, and maybe we'll have a good cross. We'll have to see what the seeds look like out of that one. You know, I prefer to grow for, a bit of a more orange pumpkin, so I feel like the mom side comes through more so than the dad side. So, I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely, I had my reservations about this here plant and pumpkin, but it's showing me why this seed grew the U.S. state record. So. Yeah, I mean, it's a resilient plant. These are not ideal conditions for it. Plant obviously hates the heat. There's tons of burn on the leaves when no other plant has the burn. I mean, there's some old age on those leaves over there that are directly in front of the fan, but no other plant has had the heat issues that this 1911 has had. So we'll see how it finishes, and then I'd like to plant one of these seeds. One of these two seeds next year, probably. And that's it. Let's go inside. We'll read off the numbers. Other than that, got to get ready for the old baseball game and try not to make a fool out of myself in front of a few thousand people. Okay, so here we are wrapping up in my son's room, who can be heard in the background. Got a double ear infection today. We had to go to the doctor. Double ear infection. No bueno. Okay, so the 1211 times the 1984, the bell kind of funky shaped one, 37 days old, 140 pounds, 7-day average is 4 pounds. The one that hasn't grown is still not growing, so I'm happy my measuring is consistent. 39 days old, looks like we'll end at about 120 pounds. And then the 1911 crossed with the 1984, focus, is estimating at 492 pounds, 18 pounds a day average at 44 days old. So, all in all, I'm happy to see that one, 1,000 pounds, we're close to it, is within grasp-ish, sort of, kind of, maybe, we'll see. It all depends on the weight gain, if we can sustain these 18-pound days for another, I think we have like 40-something days until our weigh-off. The weigh-offs start. Let's look, Colorado pumpkins.com. So our weigh-offs start in the 28th, which is 45 days away. So, another 45 to plus 21 days, another 40 to 60 something days worth of potential growth. So let's see if I wanted to 1,000 minus 492 equals that, divided by 60 days. Let's do 50 days. I got to average 10 pounds a day to make it to 1,000 pounds. So got a lot of work to do. I need to keep these numbers up for as long as possible, because they will drop quickly to the 5 pounds a day as soon as it starts getting a little colder. So, that's it, guys. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, tell a friend. Hi, Maxwell. Hi, son. Uh-oh. Bless you. We're busted. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.